Back here, and we're back here with Bob Genetski this morning. Well, I would say, yay, chieftains.
I'll just say good morning, Juke. It's great to be back on Talk of the Town.
I went to school in WHTC, you know.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, good. Well, as you know, we were disappointed in February with the Michigan Department of Civil Rights and their decision to be an activist organization rather than working for the taxpayers of Michigan. And this past week, we had an answer for them. Myself and Representative Lowers from over near the Thumb area dropped two bills that would say that if their federal complaint is successful, and if in fact federal money is withheld from 35 local Michigan school districts, and they have to change their mascots, we found the money for them to help out in changing the mascots. Again, this bill has very little to do with, in fact, school colors or school mascots at all. It has a lot to do with taxpayer-funded Department of State government working against taxpayers. And so our bill would basically freeze $3 million of their current fiscal year budgets. And if those local school districts have to replace their mascots, they could apply to what would be the school mascot reimbursement fund. Again, I ran the bill reluctantly, but I don't want our local school districts throughout the state worried going into their fiscal year, which begins July 1st. I don't want them worried about, well, do we have to set aside X amount of dollars and potentially take that away from classroom and instruction to replace mascots. But a lot of them are nervous and they're worried as long as that federal complaint is looming out there.
What happens if they just don't do it? Will they close the school?
No. What would happen is if the complaint is successful, and only if the complaint is successful, then federal money would be withheld. If the federal money would be withheld, a lot of the districts, rather than give up that federal money, are going to have to make the change. So we wanted to make sure that there was a mechanism in place to help pay for that change. We hope that it never gets there. We feel that the proper course of action would be for the Michigan Department of Civil Rights to withdraw that complaint and then to go back through things through proper protocol and channels. Engage the locals, talk to the legislature, but you don't go running the federal government when you want to make a little activist issue.
Yeah. Okay. 395-1450 if you'd like to talk to Bob this morning. Our line is open. And what else is going on in Lansing?
Well, I'll tell you, we got some great news this week, Juke, when we got the Revenue Estimating Conference's numbers, and it appears as if the state has about $462 million of surplus. And I can't tell you how exciting that was, particularly for myself, Joe Hobman, a lot of third-termers who were there when we were running billion-dollar budget deficits. This we feel is a great example of how careful and prudent budgeting can benefit everybody in the state. Keep in mind that we got rid of the Michigan business tax. When we did that, a lot of people cried foul, said you're going to break the state budget, this and that. What we found is that when you cut taxes on businesses, you make back more money through the state sales tax and personal income tax. So we're very excited about the budget surplus. Now, naturally, there are a lot of hands out right away for where to spend.
Of course.
And I think if there were 8 hands out there, 20 showed up for the new money. And I think we need to make sure that we continue to budget carefully, and any new spending needs to be a genuine investment that's going to help push the economy forward. We've had a lot of people already email the office, people who weren't too fond of the governor's idea to increase gas tax from 19 cents a gallon to 33 cents a gallon and the registration fee. So I assume some of that money is going to go there, and that'll be a good thing. We want to make sure that we improve the budget stabilization fund and still pay down a little bit of debt. And I think the schools have a right at this point to probably ask for a little more money too.
Okay. Time out.